I made a video quite recently about how you don't need a girlfriend. And while that is true, you still need to know how to speak to women, right? And I thought about this because I saw a video where they're speaking about this actually. But in self-improvement in general, for a lot of people, it can kind of be used as a cope to be like, oh, I'm on self-improvement, I'm not going to talk to women and everything. But when you think about it in the broader scale of things, being able to talk to women is a form of self-development, right? It's essential actually, right? You need to be able to talk to people, communicate. Now, there's so many pillars to self-improvement. There's obviously learning how to make money, how to be a competent, productive, generous human being, right? Then there's the way of like making yourself look better. You need to be able to just basic hygiene, basic oral hygiene, and basic physical hygiene. You need to be able to do that. Then you need to have like another skill. I guess if that skill is not part of your financial competence, it can be just a general skill that you like doing outside of work, basically. Do your hobbies or whatever it is, or maybe you're learning chess, or you're learning how to draw, whatever it is. That's nice as well. Knowledge, I guess you could entail that in your other hobbies, where it's like reading and just learning about a specific topic. That's all part of self-improvement, right? Then we spoke about physical hygiene. You also need to be able to get into shape. That's one of the biggest things. That's one of the first things you do when you get into self-improvement, right? Then there's the social part, right? It's very important. I think a lot of us do know this, that it's important to have good connections and like good friends and everything. But I think under that pillar, we usually just think about like male friends. And it's important, like your male friends, your core group, it should be your male friends, right? You need to have people that can understand you and you go through the journey together. That's very important. But also, let's not pretend like all of the self-improvement is just for us. You know, you sound like those women who go onto the podcast and you ask them why they dress, promiscuously and go to the club and they're like, oh, I just dress for myself. And we all know damn well that's not true, because if that was the case, they'd be going to like all female clubs, but they don't go to those because there's no men for attention there. And that's a similar thing with self-improvement. We're not doing this simply for ourselves. Like, there's a reason why most guys that go on to self-improvement have either like they've just been broken up with, or they're just lonely, they're doing this because they want to be attractive to women, even if that might manifest itself in a different manner, where it's, oh, she broke my heart, I'm going to show her that she made a mistake or whatever. That's still incumbent of the fact that you want to be attractive to a certain kind of women, basically. And as men in general, other than self-improvement, just in general as men, it is in our psyche, it is a very important part of our psyche that everything we do, for the most part, is generally to attract a mate so we can reproduce. And this is very like evolutionary psychology kind of jargon, but again, our brains are made from evolutionary psychology. Our brains haven't changed that much. Everything we do, whatever it is, even if you think about the woke people, you see all these male feminists and you're asking yourself, why the hell are you doing this, right? That is a plea for status. Like, that is an attempt to increase in status. It's like, oh, if I'm a male feminist and I go and I fight for abortion and all that crap, women will like me, right? That's kind of the thing. And it's in all of us men. Every single one of us, even the men that go like MGTOW, right, which is men going their own way, or they just denounce women altogether, that's still coming from a place of hurt, right? Of, oh, women don't like me or whatever it is, so I'm just going to say screw them, I don't want to deal with them at all. Even that mentality stems from wanting attention, love, and affection from women. It's kind of coming from like, oh, I'm never going to get it the way I want it, or they're never going to love me just for me, and it ends up that way. Guys who commit suicide, all of that stuff. Most of the time, there's definitely women involved, right? There's definitely either that or a lack of having love, basically. So that I've gone on that rant, do you understand that, our desire to attract a mate is it's fundamental in everything that we're doing. It's fundamental in self-improvement. And the day you acknowledge that, you might be watching this shaking your head, or maybe people have already clicked off the video, but the day you acknowledge that is the day you have a certain level of self-awareness that will take you to a higher level, right? Now that we've done all of that, it's self-explanatory now why you need to be able to talk to women, right? We spoke about the social aspect of self-improvement is having good friends, quality friends, good connections that can help you in your life, but then it's also being able to talk to women, because obviously, again, this manifests itself in many different ways. If you're in the red pill space like the manosphere, you want to have like many women that you have short-term relationships with. But then if you're like me and you're part of like this, we're Christians, right? you just want like you want a marriage, right? You want a marriage and have kids. You want to have your own family. That's what I want. Either way, I still need to be attractive to a woman, right? A woman that I want, right? So you need to be able to talk to women. You can't be one of those weirdos that are like, oh, I'm on self-improvement, I gym all the time and all of this, but oh, I don't talk to women. I don't know how to talk to them. You don't want to be those weirdos where it's like, have you ever seen those situations where you're with the boys and then one of the boys like brings their girlfriend or whatever and the guy just like greets all the guys and he doesn't know how to greet the women, so he just kind of ignores her, and it's like it's bad, right? It's bad. Obviously it comes from a way of like not knowing how to interact with her, so it's just better to just ignore her completely, which is that's not how you do it. But okay, now that we've established why it's important to be able to talk to women and why you shouldn't use self-improvement to hide from women, because it's contradictory in its nature, because the fundamental premise of self-improvement is so you can attract a mate. Let's talk about how you can do this. So if you're like in high school or you're in uni or you're like at a workplace, that's kind of obvious. You interact with women. They're in your class. You kind of just, if you're one of those people that are I'm a university student, so I'm going to use this as the primary example. If you're one of those people that are like, you're in the class and there's women around and everything, but you never talk to them like at all. A way you can sort of like break that barrier is you can just find, there'll be situations where there are conversations happening on like a wider scale where people are allowed to chime in. Just, insert yourself into that conversation a bit, just talk a little bit, just get in there. Okay, just insert yourself in those conversations. It doesn't have to be anything, don't make it weird. It doesn't have to be like, oh, you're approaching a woman. It's not like it's a cold approach or anything. You're just talking just to make friends, basically. You want to make like female friends, or even if it's not making female friends and it's just knowing how to talk to them, you just want to have like I don't say casual relationship because that insinuates like a casual sexual relationship. I just mean like you walk into class and you can talk to them, basically. That's the kind of like thing you want to build here. So again, you can just insert yourself into conversations that are there, or you can just ask a question. I mean, if you're in university, it's quite simple. You just ask to do with work, just ask that. And you start doing that on a regular basis, or you involve yourself in conversations. You very quickly start knowing how to talk to women, basically. And if you're not in that and you're doing something completely different, like maybe you're at home all the time or whatever, again, it's a delicate situation because you don't want to be cold approaching. You don't want to seem like you're desperate or anything like that. If you want to do that, you can do that. That's one way. But if you don't want to do that, you're in a place now where you're working on self-improvement and you're not looking for like a girlfriend, but you just want to like know how to be more socially adept, especially like with women. A way you can do things is like maybe you're at the cashier, right? Like you're at the store and you're buying something at the cashier. Again, I've gone through these things before. I have videos where I speak about how to be more social, how to be more confident, how to build your confidence. I think the video is actually called "How to Build Unshakable Confidence." The principles I speak about in those videos apply here. They apply to women as well. It's more just making friends in general. So if you're at the store and the cashier is like sorting you out and everything, just start a conversation. Just be like, "Hi, how's the day going?" Something I do when I like get in an Uber, for example. I've done it the last couple of times. I'll walk in, I'll just be like, hi, and then we start going, and then I'll just be like, how's the job going? Just something simple like that. If I want to, I can carry on asking questions because I've kind of broken the ice there. It's a similar thing. You just apply that everywhere, right? The cashier, again, if she's helping with everything, just be like, oh, how's the day going? Just something like that, just as simple as that. And you just become more confident in speaking to people. And then maybe some days you go to like a function or something, or like a party, then you start applying that more. You start trying to speak, inserting yourself in conversations and whatever. But yeah, I can make I've made comprehensive videos before. I'm sure I'll make one in the future on how to be more, on like a more specific one on how you can be more social and everything. But yeah, stop using self-improvement to hide from women because it's contradictory and stupid. Make sure you subscribe to join the Self-Improvement Brotherhood, and until next time, I'll see you boys.